our videos in the beginning here, so I know that's happening now. All right, boy, that was a to-do deal there.
Yeah.
That was something else. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Season 3 of Camp Talk Live. We are back. The new studio here. Hope you love it. You see we got some new sponsors here. We'd like to welcome them as a part of Season 3, Generator Upgrade Supply. We're going to be doing a lot with my friend over there and generators. That's going to be the next episode we do will be power units and why you should get your supplies from Generator Upgrade Supply, because we'll be featuring the Predator 3500. That is probably the most reliable substantial power that you need for this RV. So that's where we're using them. So welcome Generator Upgrade Supply. Get your remote start from them.
Ooh,
yeah, I'm very
nice.
excited about that. So we'll talk about why next month. Or actually just in a couple weeks, because this is the end of February. And I'm going to do March's show because I'm actually pulling the camper out back there. There's about 3 inches of snow still on the ground.
Oh man!
Yeah, I got to pull.
Be done.
I got to pull the camper out and get that out, because we're actually leaving on the 19th down to North Carolina. So that'll be fun. So obviously, welcome back, Dan Cheney at Last Go Ford, guys. When you need the best in towing vehicles, go see Dan. He'll put you in the right size vehicle to tow your trailer. And no, you don't need a 2500 if your trailer weighs 10,000 pounds. Yes, it could help if you can afford it, but he'll put you in an F-150 that'll definitely get the job done. And then obviously Buzz Tees, our apparel sponsor for the show. Make sure you go to camptalklivegear.com to pick up your official swag. You'll see I posted a picture from the woods when I was snowmobiling with the beanie hat on there. It looked really good. And then, of course, our friends at Air Ups. Guys, when you see us camping, you'll see the Air Ups arch above our camper. It's a great way to not only tell who's camping in your site if you like the big family names, or when you're doing it for family reunions. It's really, really cool. So, hey, guess what? I forgot to hit record on the podcast part. So we're going to start that over. So Season 3, here we go. We have Casey joining us here. Casey Werstein.
You got it.
Got it.
You got it.
Casey is one of R&L's finest mechanics that we have there. When you have a breakdown on the road and you need somebody there, Casey's the guy to have. So welcome aboard. We'll start that little part over again for the podcast. So as we said, we got Generator Upgrade Supply as our new sponsor this year. Obviously, if you're listening to the podcast, you've already heard the sponsor read. So we'll just go ahead and skip that part. And again, Scented Bean for everybody listening or watching on Facebook, to get the best and fresh, clean, great scented coffee, scented candles. You should probably look into that. I'll show you some of those after the show there, Casey. So we're here. We're live. This is the first time we're actually live. I see. Live. Yeah. We got a new setup here, so that's why it's you're going to hear the mistakes, you're going to see the mistakes, and that's going to be the fun part. So I'd like to welcome everybody. Let's see, what do you got? Comments coming in? Hello, Jennifer. Some of our coworkers are watching.
Hey,
so
there they are.
There they are. Yeah, did you share it to your timeline?
I think so.
Yeah, there you go. So what we're going to start off, the reason Casey is here is we're going to have another guest too, but we're going to save him for give him a whole hour on his pod.
Oh, sweet Lord Jesus.
Yeah, Casey does customized vans for camping, which I thought was a great topic to talk about. You take an older van. Obviously, if you have the mechanical skills like Casey does here, he's a 40-year mechanic.
Oh, come on now, come on.
He's been doing it a long time, so for him it's easy to do simple engine repairs and stuff like that. And when we start to show the pictures here, you'll see what he did about the van and what type of van. We'll ask him that here in just a minute. So that's what we're doing. The next one, the other guy who couldn't join us, his father was ill or just had surgery, so he's taking care of him. He's got a VW bus.
Oh, those things are so cool.
Yeah, so we talked with my buddy Randy about that one just a little bit. He says he's already got about 20K wrapped up into it.
Oh, I believe it. It's easy to do with a lot of the equipment. It gets expensive after a little while.
The new canvas and all that good stuff. So we'll be excited to talk to him eventually here on down the road. There's Penrod. What's up, buddy? So yeah, we're live here. We could just shoot out lives here, so it's great. So Casey, you went ahead and tell us what type of van you got.
It's a red one.
It's a red one.
No, it's a. I actually have a few vans, but the one that is currently usable and done, it is a 2002 GMC Savannah 2500.
What year?
2002.
2002. I'm trying to look for the. Here's the picture of the van. Boom.
Yep.
There she is.
There she is. She ain't the prettiest, but she gets the job done.
Right.
That's for sure.
And we can. I'll make that a little bigger there so you can
see that. That's actually after I did all the body work on the bottom there. The whole bottom of that was rusted out.
I wanted this. I got some pictures of the rust. All of this panel down here was repaired. The fenders, right?
Yep.
The fender on this one?
No, I left the fenders. I just mostly wanted to take care of the rust. This was my my first project, so I didn't want to go too crazy with the body work.
Okay. So you have that Savannah, you said GMC Savannah?
Yep.
2500, so that'll pull anything you want to pull.
Oh, yeah. Well, it also doubles up as my tow vehicle because I have a tow dolly. So being a mechanic, if I got to tow a car to the house, somebody breaks a car, they don't run, I got to get it to the house somehow.
So you're married. You and your wife love to travel.
Oh, yes, we do.
And you like to just be mobile.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't set up. You just lay your head where God tells you it's time to go to bed.
You got that right, buddy.
That's really cool. So this van is set up with a lot of the amenities. Let's see here. Let's show some of the. I did the body repair. Let's see if this one is. Yeah. See, there's a picture of some of the repairs you did along the bottom there. Yep. Inside as you can see, inside the doorstep there. I can't see my hand, but in the door and along the bottom there, you got that part done. Let's see if it shows the. Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
That was some good Bondo work, huh?
Yeah. Actually, it's all fiberglass. I didn't use not.
Oh, you fibered?
I fiberglassed.
Okay.
I didn't do not one spot of body filler.
No body filler.
Nope.
Okay. And then there's a picture of the van gutted.
Yep, that was when I was doing insulation.
Insulation. So that's in the top there. You went.
No,
with
it's top walls. I didn't do the floor because the floor came with insulation already in it, padded insulation.
Was this some type of conversion van before?
It was a passenger van.
Okay, passenger van, because you can see the HVAC system running along the wall there.
Yep, which I actually left in and is still functional.
Excellent.
Except for the AC part. I bypassed the rear AC because to a later date it was going to be expensive to replace all of the lines.
Oh, the lines shot?
Yeah, they rub through and a bust, and you have to buy them all at once. You can't just buy one.
How much is that line to repair?
Oh, it's going to cost like $350, $400. I mean, and I have it's not bad, not bad.
For that much money, you could put an AC unit on the roof.
Right, hold on. It's that much money for myself because I have an AC machine and all the tools at home.
Right.
I got all the refrigerant. I'm certified in HVAC for cars. So.
I'm telling you, man, this especially in southeastern Michigan here, this business could take off for you, creating people's.
I was really considering it, and the wife brought it up as well. She goes, you really enjoy doing it. You might actually like just doing it as a
maybe
profession.
Do a couple.
And I thought about that, and then that will give us actually extra money for our travels.
Right. But like I said, I'm thinking about doing some stuff RV related as well. Yeah. But you don't want to make your passion your job.
Exactly.
So, obviously if someone's going to do this van, you're going to want at least a year to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Because you work full time and, some of that good stuff there. So, let's see. So we talked about, so you went ahead and did solar panels for your power system.
I did.
There's a picture with the solar panels on top.
It's part of the It's part of the power system. I do also have it tied into the alternator of the van as well.
And the battery system.
Yep.
And the battery system. We'll show that in just a second here. So you got so how much were the solar? What was that solar? How was that solar panel kit to put on?
Okay, so I went with the Renogy 200-watt kit.
Okay.
You can actually bump it up to 400. I want to say, I think with batteries, solar panels, I'm scraping right around somewhere between $600 $800. I bought it all in pieces, so I don't remember exactly how much.
Right.
But just to be a safe bet, like I would plan on $1,000
for your power system.
For the power system.
Okay.
If you're building it yourself.
And then I have, I know I got the, here is the battery. I think it's the battery box. Yep, there's your battery box.
There it is.
One picture of it. So
That's
you got,
the beginning stages of there.
yeah, you see you got 2 large cells in there.
I do. Those are 2 100 amp hour Wise batteries.
What volts are they?
12 volt.
2 12-volt.
Yep.
That is a beauty. And then I think I got a picture of the front there.
Yeah, there's
You've
my
got-
USB charger
you
and
got
then my
USBs?
12 volt outlets.
3 12-volt plug-ins.
Yep.
That's,
Which are tied into a fuse panel on the inside.
yeah, we
so
saw
it does,
that.
It does
yeah.
have a protection system.
Yep, we saw that. Oh no, that's the
puppy.
That's okay. We'll talk about this picture real quick because if you look to the right of the picture there, just behind the driver's seat is where your power system is located.
It is.
You have an inverter on top of that.
I do.
And what type of power you get? You can get 120 out of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what are you powering with that?
Oh, I power my refrigerator, which is actually directly left to it. It looks like a cooler, but that's actually a refrigerator.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so that works out.
I can run a small space heater in there. This last summer was the test run for it, so I do need a third battery to run a heater all night.
Right.
I can run a heater most of the night with the 200 amp hours. Now, mind you, that's a 500 watt heater that I'm running, so it keeps us kind of toasty. Or we switch it up because we can't run both at the same time, the heater and the heated blanket.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we got a little bit of spoilation
at
going
night,
in there.
you can just run the van and run the heat off the van, correct?
Well, and I could, but that was the whole reason why I wanted the solar panels and the battery, so that way when
Gotcha.
we're sleeping, we don't have to run the van.
Gotcha.
And then when we get up in the morning, because we're always on the go. So when we
Right.
get up in the morning, we eat our breakfast and whatnot, we're gone. So now the batteries are going right back to charging and whatnot, and we're good to go again.
So will it charge from the alternator
It will.
and from the solar at the same
And from
time?
the solar at the same time.
How long will it take to charge on just the solar?
On just the solar, it would probably take 4 to 7 days, depending on your
To charge the batteries fully?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you definitely need that extra boost with
absolutely
with the alternator.
It will maintain, like if I don't run anything heavy, like my heaters or anything, if I'm just running the refrigerator, like it'll recharge it, keep it charged full like every day.
Okay.
Like it'll run pretty much forever until you run something heavy.
Right. And you don't run too much heavy power stuff in there. I mean, obviously you
No.
charge your phones.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
That's
almost,
barely
almost
that
said your
much.
Walkman.
Yeah, we actually we did get
Live TV.
Yep, we got a new addition. We got a Keurig, one of those Keurig minis to put in there.
You mean a
A
Keurig?
Keurig, sorry. They always give me a hard time because I call it a Keurig.
A Keurig?
A Keurig.
You got a new Freddy Cougar in there?
Yes, sir.
Pops a hole in it. And,
That's right.
well, that's a great system because
It is.
you are the king of the coffee at
Oh,
work.
you know it.
In the morning, don't bother you till you've had at least 2 cups.
At least.
At least 2 cups. When you see Casey walking around the shop with his coffee in his hand, don't ask him questions. He's not ready.
That's right. You were absolutely right, Jeff.
But okay, cool. Got our goalie situation figured out for tonight. So we talked about some of these things. You said you got about $800. You know, we're 10 minutes into recording here, and I'm like, there's a lot that goes into why. Let's start with obviously the van itself. You got to run through, make sure the powertrain's good.
Yep. I had to give it a once over
Was
and
it
see what
di-
all I needed.
Was it a diesel or is
No,
it's gas?
It's a gas. It's a
Okay.
gasser. She's got the tried and true Chevy 350 in it.
Okay.
The motor they've been running since Moby Dick was a minnow. Love that engine.
I had one of those. I had a
Yeah.
79 350 in my 82 Z28.
Oh, I was going to say the Moby Dick or the minnow.
Now, is it a 350 4-bolt? Do you know what type of?
Yep, I believe it is. It is the truck engine, the 354 bolt main.
Nice. That's a great engine.
It is.
And it runs good, especially in that 2500.
It does, and it pulls a premium. I pulled a.
What's the trans?
It's a 4L80E.
Okay.
It's the bigger one.
Okay.
So she
And that's-
doesn't give me any hard times of pulling anything with it.
And just going down the road, it's good. And
Oh yeah.
You're not really looking for gas mileage in these things either, so that's not
No.
important. It's amazing you hear, well, especially when it comes to towing, and I think that's one of the misconceptions about get to 2500, it tows better, but you still get the same gas mileage as you get with a 1-ton.
Exactly.
It's still going to scream. It's just got a beefier suspension, a beefier transmission,
Yep.
and a little bit of a bigger engine on most of them.
Yep. And the only difference between those two is pretty much your suspension, bigger springs and heavier
Right.
control arms.
The
and whatnot.
horsepower and the torque, especially
same.
if we're going to go, we'll use the Ford, obviously. They sponsor me, and that's what I drive. So my 3.5 EcoBoost with the max tow, I think it's putting out 400 horse.
Oh, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy how they can pump that horsepower out of something
Yeah,
so
it's
small.
like
It's amazing.
400 horsepower, so it's got the horsepower. Yeah, it'll scream when you're going up the mountains,
No doubt.
but it's got a 12-speed transmission too, so that helps everything.
It makes life a little easier.
It does. So your van motor powertrain wise was solid. You didn't have to upgrade anything. New tires.
Yeah, tires, U-joints, stuff you would give to an old vehicle,
Simple things for you.
Yeah, that's just another day in the office for me,
Right. So for anyone that's obviously mechanically inclined, it's a great way to do an inexpensive. If you had to put a price tag on this van from purchase to upgrades to maintenance and everything.
Oh, this is gonna hurt you a little bit, but so far I'm only $4,000 invested.
That's not bad.
No,
that's what I'm talking about.
But I've done all the work myself.
And you could do that in a year's time.
And actually,
because there's no rush.
I was pretty giddy at it. I actually did it in 4 months.
Oh, okay.
So, but I was excited. I was like, I go to work, I come home, I work at it. I go to work, I come home, I work at it. It was a day in, day out.
And now you're doing home upgrades too.
Yeah, so I had to put that aside. Vamper 2.0 is just waiting in the driveway for me.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about what you did with Vamper.
Vamper. Vamper's the first one. Also, AKA Wilbur. Wilbur's the first one. We don't have a name for Vamper 2.0 yet.
2.0. You've got yourself a former what is it, a handicap van?
Yeah,
with the high top.
Yep, it was an old handicap van. It's been gutted. There's no wheelchair lift or anything in it now.
Okay.
It's a 2000. It's a little bit older, but same setup. But this one's a 3500. But like you said before,
what size motor is that?
Same motor.
Is it?
Same motor setup as the 2500, a 350 with the 4L80E.
Okay.
So it's the same drivetrain, just bigger suspension. And let me tell you, that old girl is heavy. She's almost 10,000 pounds.
The truck is, or the van is?
Yeah, empty.
That's all steel too.
Yeah, 9,600 pounds is what it says on the
sticker. The top is fiberglass.
Yes.
Well, that sticker didn't include that fiberglass top, does it?
I'm not sure. I would imagine not. So it's probably
because it's aftermarket. That van was produced and then sent to a chop shop to be chopped up into a handicap van, and they put those roofs. Same thing they would do with the conversion van that you buy.
Yeah, you know what? You are right. I didn't think about that. You're probably right.
So I'm not sure if that sticker indicates the actual weight. That'd be something cool to look into.
Now I'm gonna have to go drive it over to scale so I know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll have one here pretty soon, won't we?
Oh, that's right. All right,
yeah.
New upgrades at the old terminal
shop.
there.
Yeah, we're getting a whole new terminal and shop upgrades. So. Yeah, God, I'm excited. Everything seems to be working. So pre-show last night, I was getting things recorded and set up. Those of you that haven't seen it and are friends of mine, go to my timeline and look last night. There's actual apparitions moving through, and it came down like this and through the camera, and it got larger, and it dropped down and disappeared. It was so weird. I can't wait to watch the replay of this and see if it comes back. Sarah was here when it happened. She was standing over my shoulder, but we were looking at this at the previous recording we had done. I switched a sound function on the computer, and it turned off the ability for the sound to come into the soundboard.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God. I went to bed at like 1 o'clock. I'm like, I don't know what I did. What functions did I change? And I remembered that one setting. So anyway, back to talking about the van. Let's talk about you gutted it out.
I did.
And what did you use for insulation when you redid it? Because we're going to talk about that too.
Okay, so I went with the Reflectix insulation, roll insulation.
Mm-hmm.
I got it on Amazon. It was cheap and it works. I would not recommend that to anybody.
Vamper 2.0 isn't getting
Vamper 2.0 is not getting it. Vamper 2.0 is going to get spray and insulation. It's going to be expensive, but it's worth it.
Okay. Because you plan on keeping this one for a while.
Yeah, I'm going to keep both. Vamper Original is going to be
tow vehicle.
It's going to be a tow vehicle as well, but it will be like a loaner. Like if we want to take some friends with us that don't have a rig or whatnot, so we can team up because it's always better to have friends with you.
I agree. I want to. Well, hopefully, we'll get to go camping together sometime this year. I'm trying to get I'm trying to get a bunch of people, from work to go. But I did it last year, and I put that list up in February. Well, guess what happened?
Well,
the world came crashing to a halt, and Corona effed up everything for everybody.
Absolutely.
And that was terrible because, the camping season started and there's no place to go camp. Michigan State parks were all closed. Most of the parks in the country were still closed. Some private campgrounds opened up in March, April, May, June-ish. I think they opened up. I think was the first one we went to was in June or July.
Yeah.
Well, and the state parks, I think, actually opened in July. But we went to one, I think it was in June.
Yeah.
But, so we weren't able to camp right away like we want to. Like I said, this year we're already starting in March.
Well, see, this is why you need a Vamper, Jeff, because you don't need to go to a campground. You can camp anywhere with one of them.
Well, you don't really camp sometimes.
Sometimes it's like boondocking.
You're boondocking and you're sightseeing as you go.
Correct.
That's, you did a week up north.
2 weeks.
Oh, that's right. It was a 2 week
weeks.
trip. You did a 2 week trip up through the UP, and you got to see everything.
It was amazing. And almost every night we stayed on a coast somewhere in the UP. It was amazing.
Yeah, because the roadside parks there are phenomenal.
Yep.
And obviously, unfortunately for you, it was October.
It was, and it was cold. And now,
but how are the colors?
Oh, we caught it just in time.
Did you?
Just in time.
You found the sweet spot, did you?
Yes,
oh,
we did.
So jealous.
Literally, the first week, all the leaves were still on the trees. The second week, they were gone. So we literally caught that last part. Just when they changed, before they fell off. It was absolutely beautiful.
What week of October was that?
Yes. I believe,
I'll play that game.
I'll play your game. I believe that was the 14th-ish in that area.
Yeah, because we were up there.
Well, that it changes every year though with the temperature and everything. So.
Oh God, it depends on how cold and how quickly it gets cold and everything. So yeah, it does. Don't you all have Saturday deliveries you should be doing?
I've seen that.
Richard Sutton, no sir.
This guy.
Yeah,
he's a comedian in every bunch.
We got Wayne Eddy who actually messaged me yesterday. Hey, you want to do my route tomorrow? I got 10 stops. I'm like, no, bro. Season 3 premieres tomorrow, man. Casey and I. We've actually been stoked about getting ready for this because you were on the fence about talking about this.
I was. I'm a little leery of talking online and in public, because I don't know. I'm kind of a quiet guy sometimes.
Yeah. But I could feel your excitement. I walked into the office yesterday and I could see, okay, shit, he's busy.
Yeah.
And then you stopped what you were doing as soon as you realized what we were going to talk about. It wasn't work related.
You're right.
You had a smile on your face.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do really like traveling, and the camper van has been a big thing lately. It's my new thing. I'm really passionate about it.
So some of the features that you built into this van. Let me see. This one here. There's the back end of the van. You've got the storage underneath.
Yep. And actually, the back part of that van, like underneath, you can't see it, but underneath that mattress, it flips up so you can get to that storage. I actually made that sit lower because we use totes with that setup. Okay. And the totes can't slide out. You actually have to lift the bed.
Oh, because of that white panel there kind of hooks it to stop it from sliding?
Well, that's actually why the mattress is kind of jacked up the way it is, because we just got done lifting things up.
Okay.
And if you look on the right side, you can see where
you're short. You can sleep crosswise in the van. You don't have to sleep lengthwise.
That one
My
with
feet
the
would be going through the windows.
Absolutely. Now, Vamper 2.0, the bed is going to be sideways because we're not putting the panels back in. That one we put the panels back in, and it's just a little shy of the couple inches that me and the wife need to lay sideways.
Right.
So the bed actually goes long ways into that van. It will be sideways in Vamper 2.0.
You're both short.
Yes.
So you can lay crosswise there comfortably.
Yep. Now, mind you, that the bed that's in there is a full-size mattress. So it's
not even a queen size.
No.
Okay.
That's just the two of us and the dog, so he's awfully cuddly. He doesn't mind.
He looked like a big boy.
He is a big boy. He's 110 pounds.
Where was that one?
He's 110 pounds of pure big baby. There he is.
That's a big boy. What's his name?
Ruger. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Yep,
so you guys actually got a lot of storage in there. And what type of tint did you put on the windows for that?
That's the factory tint that was that it came with.
Oh, it had factory tint?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it was a passenger van, it came with all tinted windows already.
You should put limo tint on that.
You know, we thought about that, and then the problem is it gets way too dark in there.
Oh,
Because
okay.
because when you're inside, like you cannot see inside of it. So
In the evening hours, if you have lights on in there, kind of like
can
in
a
my
little-
camper. That's why
Yeah.
I'm going after Mitten Customs here. Shout out to my buddy there if he's listening.
Yep.
We want to partner up in sponsorship with them because the best way to cool your camper is to darken the tint on the windows.
Absolutely.
We don't have to, I mean, obviously he'll be able to tell you the best tint to use where you can still see out and still light come in, but people can't see in.
Right.
Shit, you could even put a reflective tint on it.
Right.
I don't know what that'll do for heat.
Yeah. So actually, what we did is I had some leftover
Mhm.
reflectics from the insulation that I bought, because it's just just plastic, and it's got foam on the inside with that aluminum reflective outside. So there's no real insulation of that itchy stuff in it. So the wife actually cut it to fit for every window because we had just enough left. So when we want to be like
So
cut
when
off
the
from
vans
work,
are rocking and people want to come
That's
look inside,
right.
yeah. How does, not to get into personal stuff, but I mean just the movement wise in the van, not the coitus. But
you know,
when
yeah,
someone's sleeping in the van, I mean, it's different than a camper. You're not going to
Yeah.
get that front to back motion or a
Right,
whole lot of the
right.
side to side. So I guess it's a
well,
non-issue.
it can be an issue. Like if say I'm normally the one that wants to sleep in a little bit, and she's usually the goer in the morning.
Right.
Once she gets up, she's ready to go. You know, it is a little bit challenging to try to continue to sleep because the van does move a lot.
Okay.
You know, so
if you're set up somewhere, well, if you're going to be in a campground for several days, you're still going to use that vehicle to go sightsee places
Yes.
around that campsite.
yes, we actually will set up the campsite and leave it all there, and then when we pack up to go, then we'll throw it all back in the van.
So let's go back to the, this is the final peg here. No, the complete battery with bed. All right. Nope. I wanted the bed with storage picture, the rear. So,
There it is.
So do you have canopies that you pull out?
I do. I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually in that picture, it might already be set up behind where I was taking pictures.
Oh, okay.
But it sits on the left side underneath the bed there. And actually, see that all that roll there? That's the reflectix I was telling you about for the windows.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's
So
all
when
the
you
space
really
takes
want
up.
privacy there.
That's right.
Okay.
Or if we want to sleep in and we don't want the light to come in.
That's my biggest thing. In the camper when I'm laying down, this way is a sliding door. If that sliding door isn't open, the opaque glass in the door, the light comes through there like a magnifying glass, and it just lights up everything.
Right.
So I want to tint I got a skylight, but it's not a clear skylight. It's pretty cloudy. I want to tint that out, or at least I might even pull it out and just go up there and spray paint it black.
Okay. Well, I mean, or you could just get one of. I believe
It's
they
got
make covers for those.
It's
don't
got
they?
a shade that goes over it, but it doesn't really.
okay.
It needs to be blacked out.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I like the darkness in the
Yes.
morning.
And definitely nothing like before 2 cups of coffee. That's for sure.
Exactly. With the coffee maker, it's obviously we're plugged into shore power. So, do you have the ability to plug your van into shore power?
We have an extension cord. So
I recognize that extension cord.
Yeah. Hey. But so yeah, I haven't put in the
Our friend
charger
Bob
box
does the
yet.
same thing with them. He takes because we trade them in for the new ones because the ends burned out. He just puts new ends on them and
that's it.
Yeah, it's
But because of OSHA and we're not allowed to reuse them, when they burn up.
right.
It costs more to have the cord recertified than it is to buy a new cord.
Right.
So
exactly.
they just toss them.
They need to fix that. Well, they'll do that when they redo the terminal.
Yep.
But no, that's a thought I was thinking about is being able to hook your vehicle up to shore power.
Yep, and that's going to be in Vamper 2.0. I'm going to put a charge controller box in it that I can plug in 110.
Charge your whole system in an hour.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Or because Vamper 2.0 is also we're thinking about putting rooftop AC on it, so we definitely need a big battery bank for that. But to be able to run it on shore power would be.
You're only going to run an
amazing.
AC unit with shore power.
Oh, that's what you think.
Well, I've seen.
Challenge accepted.
Well, I got a friend that travels with. He has Grand Design, I believe it is, and he's got a freaking 8-cell battery pack.
Yeah.
You can get those easy startups for the AC units that don't have the big draw, You could put those on there, and you can run air. But I mean, it's the amount of time is limited on a
Yeah.
on
Well,
a battery pack.
we would only want it to cool the van down before we went to bed. That's all.
Well, if you're doing that, you might as well just run the AC in the van itself. Does it have rear? Does the new one have a back?
It does. It
Yeah,
does.
so just fix that and replace that.
Oh, it's all working.
Oh, that one works? The
that
lines
one
aren't
works.
shot, huh?
Yeah, lines aren't shot on this one.
Great.
That's yes.
So I mean, worst case scenario, you just run the van and run the air conditioning.
Yeah, and that's what we did with the original Vamper there.
Okay.
With Wilbur.
Because a rooftop unit, I mean, if you're going to put a rooftop unit in that plugs into the shore power, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Because then it's cooling off of shore power. It's not going to drain your batteries. It's not going to affect the life of your batteries.
Yeah.
Because those things will draw.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously you know that.
Oh yeah, and that's all up in the air. Me and the wife have been talking about that, going back and forth. Do we want onboard AC? Do we want to put aftermarket AC? How do we want to do that? We're
You
not
could
sure
put in a
yet.
window unit in the back.
Hey, no. There was that joke, and I said, "Nah, we're not doing that."
The old hillbilly way there.
Yeah, no.
But you know what? That's what I did with my utility trailer before I bought my camper. When I took it to paintball events, when I was doing that, the gear would come out.
Yep.
The bed support would come down. The bed would come off the wall onto the bed, and then I swing the door around.
Yep.
Latch it, and then I'd put a panel in there, bring the other door in, lock it, and so it was like the door was there, and then a
AC
window unit went in there,
Nice.
plugged into shore power.
Yep, and that would work awesomely. But the problem with the van is you're limited on space, so it would have to sit in the window all the time. Unless you want to eat up some of that space and have to lift it and put it in every time, which I'm not interested in. I'd rather just not have AC at that point.
Okay.
But mind you, we're always on the go, so we're not hanging out in the van. It's mostly a sleeping spot and a storage spot. Like
You want the
hiking
comfort of
and
sleeping
running,
though.
yes.
So if it's that warm outside, then you just run the van in the AC and you're golden. So
you're absolutely right.
Pretty much into that discussion.
Right.
But there's if you want to make the investment and put a rooftop in it unit and run it on shore power, perfect.
Right.
What other type of upgrades are you doing with Vamper 2.0?
Okay, so we're
Spray foam
insulation.
What are you going to put over instead of the panels? You want max space? You're just going to put like some felt?
So, no, we're going to go with we found this really thin plastic. It's really flexible wall panel.
Okay.
Just like at the Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards. It's a thin white, flexible. We're either gonna glue it or screw it, one of the two, and then we'll be just been done with that. With LED lighting, yeah.
You put that in there.
But possibly
simulated wood panel Allen.
Yeah. So
what song? Oh, can't remember the name of that song now.
So now also one of the upgrades for Vamper 2.0 is it's a handicap fan, so it has a topper on it. Storage.
You can put
everything in there.
Yeah, you can put like little racks along the top.
Yep. And because the way that the handicap van was made, because it has the metal support for the wheelchair lift, which is no longer in there, but the skeleton for the metal framing is there.
Great.
So we were thinking about bringing a portable hammock, because the hammock could stretch from front end to the back end of the van.
Yeah.
But
if you're not putting a bed in, yeah.
Well, no, there's enough room with the bed.
Oh, is it that high of a top?
Oh, it is. It's
Is it higher than your average conversion top?
It's probably one of the tallest conversion tops that come on them. I can stand all the way. It's someone almost 6 foot could probably stand up in the highest part of it. Challenge
accepted.
All right. All right.
Well, we'll obviously definitely get to check it out once we hit the campground with it somewhere. So you're gonna do that paneling.
Yep.
Instead of running the power into your box, are you gonna condense that box and add outlets along the van?
Well, we don't run too many things, so what we were actually thinking, we might add another like satellite outlet, like closer toward the bed if we got to run a fan or something.
That's a great idea.
Yep.
I sleep with a fan every night, so having that fan running is
it makes a world of difference.
I love that. Have you thought about putting the screw jacks on your van?
We thought about it, but we didn't run in like the whole 2 weeks we were in it. We didn't run into one instance where it was an issue.
Okay.
Yeah, the van on some of the campsites and some of the spots was a little bit off, but it wasn't that bad.
You just adjust your sleep pattern or sleeping arrangement in the van. If you're backed into a site that goes up, Well,
and that's what we did. We just would actually just turn the van sideways and park it up the hill, so that way the hill would be like from our head to our feet.
Right.
You know,
And you can also, can put some, bring some wood blocks. You can also brace it up if you really, really want level.
We thought about that, but like I said, we didn't find one spot where it was needed.
Okay, good.
So, and I could for sure. That would be an easy upgrade.
It would be very simple upgrade. So as far as the type of place, obviously you could take these vans anywhere. That's the beauty of them.
Yep, and that was why we went with a van versus like an RV or like a school bus or anything, because we can really get off the beaten path with this thing.
Yeah, even the bus conversions are huge right now.
They are.
A lot of people are doing conversions. I got a buddy that I used to play paintball with that converted his bus into passenger and sleeping quarters. It had 4 bunks, a bathroom, gear storage for the guys in the back, and then it still sat like 12 people.
Right, and now that's a party bus right there.
Yeah, and he actually got party bus seats out of a former party bus and put those in there, or out of some type of other coach.
Yep.
So he had like 2, 4, 6, and then 2 facing each other with a table.
Right.
And then he had 2, 4, 6 seats there, and then the kitchen. So it was a really nice setup. So you don't have any type of kitchen setup in there. Everything's still outdoors.
Yep, everything's outdoors. It's portable. We have a tote that has all of our kitchen stuff in it. That's another one of the upgrades for Vamper 2.0. We're going to put a small kitchenette. Going to have a sink, a spot for the stove, and we've been going back and forth. The wife wants.
It's not much. Is that van longer than?
It's almost a foot longer. Okay. But because we're going to turn the bed sideways, because we're taking the panels out, now we got that added space.
Gotcha.
And it wouldn't have made much sense in the other van because we can't stand up in the other van.
Right.
So there's no sense of having a kitchenette in it.
Right.
So we're gonna have water jugs, a water pump, and little kitchenette, a little stove, a little exhaust fan.
Something you can do while you're driving. So
exactly.
Yeah, because obviously you guys are traveling. Obviously, right now with just getting started, you're just local in the state.
Yep.
You can get you get out of Michigan, Ohio, but
yep.
Those western road trips.
Yeah, the UP was the test run because we figured we were close enough to home still.
You've got 3 weeks vacation.
I do.
That's awesome. When do you get that? 9 years?
10 years.
Is it the 10 year?
Yeah.
I thought it was 9 years.
Nope, it's 10 years. However, I'm knocking on the door at 15. Next year's my 15, so I'll get that 4th week.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's funny because we're talking about it in our retirement years. How do we want to travel?
All the time.
We talked about it. Well, you don't want to do it full time after.
Right.
I mean, you only want to do it for maybe a year or two after you retire, and then do something else. Obviously, the wife and I talked about hopefully something we can do with the grandkids.
Yeah. Well, the Vampers,
or our kids and our grandkids go camping with them.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do. While they're young, we still want to do some Western stuff.
Yeah.
Take them out to Glacier National. That's our whole 2022 camping trip.
Yeah.
I mean, we're prepping for it now.
Yeah. Yeah. And me and the wife have been talking about doing a trip that started from here and ended up like California and making a trip to come back and then driving all the way back. But we definitely have to get some miles.
That's great for you because you can do all the roadside stuff. You can see everything and not miss a beat. You could spend a couple hours in the Grand Canyon.
Right.
You can stop and spend an hour at the biggest rubber band ball.
And you are right.
Biggest stitch of yarn or whatever it is. The Route 66.
Yep. And the Yooper. What's the Yooper trap? The Yooper trap is one of those ones we stopped up and seen. Oh my God. I think I sent you a picture. It was me next to Big Gus, the biggest chainsaw in the world.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't flip through the with all the tech problems I had last night. I didn't get all the pictures I wanted uploaded. I'm sure I could do it while we're live, but
gotta love technology.
Yeah, well, when I started this show, I had 3 guys. I had 2 guys that helped set up. I had a sound engineer and computer guy that did all of that. He didn't work out for the show. He wanted to go a different direction. I had another guy come in that helped. That got me the computer and got me set up proper, and then kind of trained me to do it. I did all season 3 myself.
Yeah, I have to say, this is a pretty elaborate setup you got here.
Yeah, it's not. You didn't know what you're getting into, did you?
I didn't. I walked in here, I'm like, oh man, we're mainstream now.
Yeah, and this is the setup I take to the shows, and we do the camper shows. Obviously, this year due to COVID, we couldn't do it, but it's been some things. We got a new monitor here that you can see, so when I'm showing pictures, you can talk about. So. I don't like this monitor. It's really grainy, so I'm gonna get a HD monitor. This says it's HD, but I don't know if it's the camera. Hopefully you guys are seeing the picture. It looks good on my phone here.
Yeah, I'd have to say so.
I don't know how many comments you got streaming there.
Yeah, there's a couple on there.
So, but yeah, so the travel part is going to be what's going to be really cool for you. So that's what we're thinking about in the golden years.
Yep.
Sell the house, buy a coach, obviously diesel.
Yeah.
Going to get that diesel person, that
yes.
$200,000, $300,000 diesel pusher.
Yeah, you
Tow a
have to.
car.
Yep.
Tow a car.
Yep, because when you park that bad boy, you're not going to be driving it to Walmart to go get some more hot dogs and buns. That's
No,
for sure.
we're seasoned veterans when it comes to that. So when we get somewhere, we know to stop before we get to the park.
Yes.
The car that we'll tow will obviously be what
Yep.
we go and sightsee.
Yep.
in.
Yep.
'Cause
When you want to go see the Grand Canyon, you can just park that big old bus somewhere.
I
and then
talked
drive
to
it.
somebody. Who was I talking to? Oh, a friend or a customer who's doing this in camps, and my FedEx driver, Todd.
Hey, there.
Shout out to Todd. What's up, Todd? He got to spend some time roadside in the desert.
Oh, that would be really cool.
At night, he said it was beautiful.
Yeah, that's on my my bucket list is to go see that. I've never been to the desert.
Just driving through the desert, he said you can just drive out into the desert off the road.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Obviously, you don't want to do it close to Mexico because you don't run into some coyote or coyote, whatever the hell they call those banshees that are smuggling people with weapons.
Oh, yeah.
But you stay through the mid part through like Nevada or something, or you just find out a higher elevation in the desert.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's all. Those are usually sea level. I don't know.
I'll go with it. It sounds good.
I'll play your game.
I'll play your game.
But, obviously the nights there are just amazing. So, yeah, obviously that's something I want to see.
Yes.
I mean, we'll get a little bit of it heading, because Glacier is like northwest Montana,
Okay.
Canada.
Yeah.
So
Canada's going to be one of them. That's on my bucket
soon
list.
as soon as the borders are open.
That's right. I got to go visit our neighbors.
There's still people in RVs stuck
Yep.
in the States because they can't get home to Alaska.
Yeah.
They won't last summer they didn't. They might be able to now.
Last I heard, they were allowing people to do quarantine now. Don't quote me on this. I'm not. This is all hearsay. But I thought I heard that they were allowing people to do like a 2-week quarantine and then allowing once they go through that and then to go home. I'm not entirely sure.
Whatever it takes, because we ran into some people that actually came down when we were at my uncle's place on Brevoort. The guy drove down, and he's like, "This used to be a campground here," and we were like, "No, not here. This has been private lake for years. There's the state forest campground on the other side of the lake." He goes, "Yeah, well, it's down one of these long roads. It's been 30 years since I've been over here." I'm like, "Okay, yeah." So obviously it wasn't here. So yeah, that obviously the travel part is what's so awesome about these vans.
Yeah.
And they're inexpensive.
It's so versatile.
Versatile is the key word.
You can go everywhere, and it's incognito. You can make it so incognito. It looks just like a passenger van.
Right.
Like unless you get like a very far view, and you can, because I have slimline solar panels, so it's really hard to see that it looks like a passenger van.
Right.
So,
maybe a roof rack.
Yep.
How do those solar panels? That's a question. I know. My buddy has them on his Grand Design. My friend from Arizona, Ted, I think is his name. Ted. Yeah. If I'm mutilating it, sorry, buddy. But he's got 8 panels on his roof.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got like his entire everything front to back and around his AC unit is covered in solar panels because he's got a hell of a battery system.
Yep. And when you're
his
running heavy
tongue
stuff,
weight's got to be ridiculous. I ought to put that on the bumper.
Yeah. Actually, solar panels aren't heavy, but yeah.
No, the battery cell, the solar
batteries themselves. Well, unless you go lithium. I mean, lithium batteries are literally the quarter of the weight of lead acid.
Okay.
Now they're about 5 times the price.
Right.
They are expensive, but they're good batteries.
And they last longer?
They do. They do.
Okay, well then that's something.
But here's the drawback: if you're gonna go somewhere where it's cold, lithium batteries do not like cold. They're not as versatile with hot to cold temperatures. So if you're going to be doing some long traveling, where from a cold state to like maybe Arizona or something, or if the temperatures fluctuate a lot, like you got to keep that cabin warm, because when a lithium battery gets below, I forgot what the temperature was. It's something like in the 30s. When it gets below that temperature, it has a protection system that shuts it off. So the last thing you want is have a cold van and then no power.
Oh boy,
You know.
that would be terrible.
Yes. Yes.
That would be terrible. So yeah, that's oh god, I want to say that. Well, you figure each battery is 40 pounds, 35, 40 pounds.
What are we talking? Lithium or lead acid?
The lead acid.
Oh Jesus, my lead acid batteries are almost 100 pounds each.
Oh wow.
They're heavy.
Okay.
They're heavy.
Yeah, I don't know what he had on the front of his, but he had I want to say at least 8 cells in there.
Yeah.
And they were vertically stacked in a container, some type of custom container.
Okay.
At least I think that's what it was. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
But he had that on the front of the trailer, so imagine all the tongue weight that adds.
Yeah.
300, 400, 500
Yep.
pounds of tongue weight.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. It's like you're...
Well, and it also depends on like your amp hour battery, how big a battery you got, because you can get like a 35 amp hour deep cycle battery, and it's only like 30, 40 pounds.
Right. The deep cycles, yeah, the 12-volt deep cycles or 6 volts.
Yeah.
I think he might have had 6 volts and had them all chained together.
Yeah, and that's a good possibility. Some of them 6 volts, like the really high amp hour, like your 220s, those things are probably 150 pounds plus. They are massive.
Yeah.
That's what we run in like our electric pallet jacks at work.
Yeah. That's almost what it looked like is exactly
like golf
that.
cart battery.
Oh, man. Heavy.
One thing to note about batteries, for everybody out there listening, if you're going to go with a lead acid battery, you have to, if you're going to put it inside the cabin where you sleep, it has to be an SLA, a sealed lead acid.
Sealed lead acid,
with a regulator valve, because it will leak gas into the cab that can be fatal.
Yeah.
So if you can use regular deep cycle batteries that are not SLA, but you have to vent them outside.
Yeah.
So just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, that's a good point too, because some people might not, especially the ones that aren't mechanical, but they're just trying to DIY off of YouTube.
Whoa, why'd you spend $150 on a battery? They got these batteries for $30. Well, just know you have to vent those $30 batteries outside because they're not sealed lead acid.
Right, so you'd have to put them in a sealed box and vent that box out the side of the van.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that could definitely be deadly.
Yep.
So you got a 3-port.
12 volt.
12 volt to plug in all of your plug-in. Now, is the Keurig, is that a travel style one that you can plug into that?
Nope, it's just the one that you would buy for your. It's the.
So you
Keurig
plug
Mini.
that into the
I plugged that into the inverter.
Gotcha. How many inputs on your inverter?
4, I believe.
Okay.
It was.
That thing right there on the top of the steps, that best track, that's a two-port inverter.
That's tiny.
Yeah, well, I only hooked that up to one of my 12-volt deep cells.
I was going to say that might power a tiny fan.
It powers the fan. It'll charge phones. Yeah. It'll anything 12 volt.
Yeah.
You can run off of that.
That's just me talking a little garbage, because my power inverter's it's massive.
Yeah. Well, if you saw it in the picture, let's see here. Let's pull up the.
Well, and I also wanted to have a big system, because some of our friends they don't have the onboard battery system like we do. So a lot of times, we'll use our van as the main power system.
Right.
We'll run lights and everything outside, and
yeah, there it is on top of the.
There it is.
There, I don't know if people can see the.
Yeah, my coat's in the way.
Okay, I didn't look at my phone when these popped up. Yeah, but you can't see the cursor moving around. But it's on top of that wooden box. What's on the side of that box right there?
Oh, that is our so that was a roadside add-on. So
a roadside add-on.
Yep. Because I threw that battery box together, and I wasn't thinking about actually using it. So when we would charge our phones and everything, that's just a pine wood box. That's just pine plywood you get from Home Depot. So it's slick. So we were setting our phones on it to charge, and we were driving. They were just sliding right off the top. So my wife had this great idea. She's like, you know what? I got an idea. So we stop at Walmart's, and she found that little bag.
He said Walmart's. You sound like
Squirrely
Dan.
That's right.
Appreciates what you're doing.
That's what I appreciates about you, Jeff.
Right.
So she's like, she finds this little case, and it's got 3 zippers on it. So we put the chargers in one, phones in the other, and little knickknacks, and
go
with your phone, different charging cords and whatnot. And she got those little hooks that you put on the wall, and it's got the little pull tab to remove them. So we literally slapped those on there and just hung it on there, and it's been on there since.
Oh, the command hooks?
Yeah, that's it. Command hooks.
Oh, God. We love command hooks in the camper.
Yes.
Towel hooks. Something for my robe now next to the bed.
Have you seen the suction cup hooks that go in windows? I'm sure if you look at some of the pictures of some of the
I'd
vans I
be
sent
scared to
you-
put that any of the glass in that camper. That glass is thinner than it's in your van.
True story.
Yeah, it's like
But you
2/16, maybe 3 of
Yeah.
an inch
Yeah.
thick glass.
Yeah, but you can get the little vacuum hooks that you on the interwebs, and they work great for hanging towels and stuff. Like when you got a van,
Yeah.
because you got the solid, and that glass in the van is pretty thick. Or if you need to hang a light on the outside of the van, you know. And,
So you can put your hooks across the top there.
Yep. If you actually find some of those pictures of the van already done, they're all over the windows. So we were hanging, because it was October, we were hanging our coats from them. And when we were driving, they were staying suction cupped. Yeah, see, all the stuff on the window there.
Yeah.
That's all suction cup, vacuum suction cup.
Just
hooks.
the small knickknacks that you need to.
Yeah. And then we were hanging our coats from them, our towels to dry, because there's not much space to hang things in a van, especially when you're showering and whatnot outside.
Yeah.
You got to hang dry your stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you do that outside.
not
Unless you're getting
not
right-
in October, you don't.
Oh, yeah. No, well, yeah.
Some of the nights got
Nights down into the 30s.
Actually, we seen a couple nights that got down to 24 degrees.
Ooh.
It was a little chilly.
I did that not this last year, but the year before when I went in November. And we got out to Brighton.
Yeah.
And it ended up being one of the coldest days of the year. It was 17 degrees, except for that one cold week in January.
Yeah.
That was the coldest weekend of that winter of 18, 19? Yeah, 18, of 18. Or was it? No, end of 19. Yeah, end of 19.
Okay.
I went in November. And this year in 20, when we went in November, it was 70 degrees.
Oh.
Remember that one weekend in November where we had
Yeah.
65, 70
Yep.
degrees? So it
Yeah.
was...
I remember sitting in my hunting stand and I was just dying from the heat because I had all my cold winter gear on and that sun come out and it baked me.
Right.
I was baked. Like a
So
potato.
obviously there's a lot you can do with vans.
Absolutely.
We could sit here and talk all day about it, but we're running out of time here because
Wow, that was quick. We're done already?
well, I'm going to wrap it up here at 50 minutes because we got a late start. We already put the wings on the smoker.
Food.
So we're going to go have a cocktail and have some wings, and appreciate you coming, Casey.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Obviously for those of you that are listening, make sure you check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and all of our podcast services there, Spotify, Google Podcasts. I've got several others out still waiting out there. We might be joining a podcast network.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So a shout out to those guys. I think it's iLogic. They've got some good stuff on there. I'm talking to some of their guys. I'm gonna be. They say I'm leaps and bounds above them, but you know what? It's all about the love and the support that you can get through these guys. So that's what I'm looking for. Like I said, I'm doing this by myself now. So these tech issues, I'm learning with this is a $1,500 laptop that I don't know the ins and outs of. I look things up on Google. Yeah, you Google everything, but I also don't have the patience because my eyes would get tired on me. That's why I got my new glasses. Let's see here. People haven't seen my new glasses here, so let's put these bad boys on.
Hey, sexy. Look at this guy.
It makes everything crisper, clearer.
Oh, trust me, I completely understand. Ever since I had eye surgery, I got to wear readers.
Yeah,
so.
I'm +2 on the readers. They wanted me to have bifocals, but I couldn't stand that line. It drove me absolutely nuts.
You don't want to do the old guy look? Come on. There it is.
Yeah. Or like my mother-in-law does this. She puts her glasses down and looks down, then looks up for regular vision, and looks down to read.
I do that at work a lot because the computer monitor sits so far away and I can't see it through the magnifiers.
Right.
So I have
are
yours
progressive?
No, they are not. They're just regular dollar store readers.
Oh, dollar store readers. Okay. Yep. No, the prescription with the bifocals, they weren't progressive. I had the line in there, and I'm not an old man.
Yeah. Well, that's what you say.
So, like we said, we talked about just about everything you can do with the van. Did we miss anything? The bed frames, bed frame was made out of wood.
Made out of wood. I built that out of mostly scraps in the garage. Because I got a wood shop in my garage as well, so I just was walking upstairs grabbing beams and boards, and the only thing I had to buy for that was the plywood.
Right. What size plywood did you put on there to make it?
I went with 1/2 inch.
1/2 inch.
Yep. But I put enough support in there that it doesn't even flex. But the cool thing about that is it's removable. I can just take it right out, and I mean, if we actually wanted to lay outside,
Is
with
that
it,
bed's not fastened to it at all?
nope, it's
How does
not.
it stay put
It's
during heavy
well,
braking?
there's it actually it stays put really well because we left the carpet in there, so the wood actually I didn't sand the bottom of the feet smooth, so it actually grabs into the carpet. It doesn't move at all.
So you put the carpet back in?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Was there any rust on underneath any of that?
Actually, no, that was really good. I mean, there
So that's
being a 2002, there
yeah,
was
02.
some cleaning to do.
Yeah, I'll
you
bet.
know, you spilled your pop, your coffee, your chips. There was some cleaning
Surface
to do.
rust off, and then would you just Rust-Oleum everything?
No,
Or?
no surface rust inside. All I do is just Dawn dish soap and water and clean it.
Oh, okay. So the
That's-
carpet.
Yeah, the carpet I just ran a shampooer over it, and then when we had all the panels out, we cleaned the insides, outsides, and it just made a world of difference in the smell of the van, because it was an old work van.
Yeah.
So now after me and the wife got done with
Did it have machine oil smell to it?
it did.
Yeah.
It did. It was nice, crisp, and clean. I was rather surprised. I was worried. Ozone machines, guys. Ozone generator for all you campers. When you want to get the smell out, is amazing. Look into them.
Ozone generator?
Ozone generator. You will take the smoke out of a smoker's car or if you buy a used RV or a van or whatever, it takes out all of the smell.
That's fantastic.
So all the DIYers that want to make their own van, but they can't afford new. That's one route to go.
Right. So I guess if Casey's going to be interested in doing some vans, you'll hit social media with that.
Oh,
Let the show know, and
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
put it out there.
Oh yeah, we'll do another show then.
Yeah, we'll get together, sit down, and be like, hey, Casey's back.
Yeah.
He's doing custom vans, and here's what he's doing.
Yep.
Not to compete with our friend Ben Nagel at Custom Trade, custom.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely not. No. This would definitely be a small operation. Like I buy a used van, convert it, flip it. Nothing crazy, nothing.
So yeah, you could actually just buy them or do them and then flip them.
Yep, absolutely.
And then say, here's, what do you usually pay for a van like that?
Oh, I paid actually for both of the vans that we have under $2,000.
Nice.
But
How many miles on them?
high mileage. The one van is 250. The other one is 330,000.
So did you rebuild the motor?
Actually Vamper 2.0 is going to get a rebuilt motor and trans.
Okay.
That's in the works.
Yeah, for them big trips, you need
yeah.
solid, dependable powertrain.
Yes. Now the 2002 Vamper original, it has 200-something thousand. We're just going to run it for a while until we get Vamper 2.0. Then we're going to rebuild that one.
Okay.
So that'll give us something, so that way we're not stuck in the water.
Yeah, for sure.
We can keep running.
All right. Well, my stomach is growling for wings now.
Oh, I'm about to take a bite out of this microphone. Keep
right.
it up.
All right, guys. Well, everybody, thanks for coming back. Season 3, we're going. We got some really cool things this year. We got a segment called Camping with Heroes. We're going to be sitting down and talking with in a camping setting. We want to get these guys out, thank them for their services, and just sit down and talk with them about some of the struggles they have in life and how things like camping improves that and spend time with them and feed them, because we're gonna you saw the smoker. I think we're gonna be doing pork shoulder, a lot of pork shoulder. Yeah, these guys they'll love that.
You are killing me with all this food, Jeff. I'm telling you.
I know. Well, I'll tell you what. Here at Camp Talk Live, it's not. We started early today. Usually we got some cocktails going. We had one of my favorite shows from last year. We actually had a couple drinks before we went live, but
no cocktails for this guy. The whiskey was a little strong last night.
Somebody tuned it up. Oh God, I almost tuned it up last night because of the lack of cooperation with the electronics here last night.
That's enough to drive a guy over to that. That's
yeah,
for sure.
If it wasn't as late as it was, I probably would have tied one on good because I was so frustrated.
Yes.
So make sure you guys that are listening to the podcast, check us out on Facebook, check us out on YouTube. All this stuff will be available. This podcast, well, everybody that's listening to it live now will hear this podcast in probably a day or so. If I get time to edit this down and get I got to do the new 2021 intro read done. So with all of our new sponsors, have not done that yet. So
get her done, buddy.
Yeah, we're gonna get that part done, and so thanks to Generator Upgrade Supply for joining us this year, and everybody else, welcome back. And Casey Werstein,
Werstein.
Werstein, sorry.
So much
Stein.
practice and he dropped the ball.
I'm thinking about
right.
food. So
yeah, I know that them wings will do that to you.
yeah, well, thank everybody for coming out here, and we'll see you guys here in a couple weeks. We're going to be doing the power upgrades or the power box that I did. I'll show you when we get outside, and that's it from us here now. So everybody have a great weekend and a great 2021 camping season.
Yes,
and we'll see you in the campgrounds. Bye now.